Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Notice anything different about me? You might notice a little change. I got rid of the beard. That's right. I got rid of the beard. I mean, I still got a little something here, a little something. But I tell you, it feels great. I don't miss my long hair. I don't miss the beard. It feels so good. It was getting itchy. I was doing this a lot, like, it was frustrating. And I had to get rid of it, guys. I had to do it. I don't know how you feel about it. I kind of want to see chat and see what you guys. Did I shave so I would look prettier on the face app? What? No. The beard, the hair, the glasses. Do I look a little different? Yeah, I know. I did my hair a little bit today. I was like, you know what? I've been looking a little disheveled. So I decided to do something about it. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I think it's time to get rid of the beard. It was getting a little obnoxious. It's funny. My brother has a massive beard now. Like, Matt, your beard is glorious. So he's got the beard covered, and yeah, I feel great. I feel a lot just more presentable. I do a show where I am in a public eye for every day of the week. So, but anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. How you doing? I've got some exciting news for next week. A lot of you have actually suggested Flawedzilla coming on my show, and I got a hold of him yesterday. He's going to be joining me on Monday, so I'm pretty excited. And not only that, we've got Drunk 3PO joining me on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, we got Quarter Black Garrett coming back. So, huge week next week. Very excited about it. Some great guests. Of course, Garrett has been on the show multiple times. Love having him on. He's fantastic. And then Flawedzilla, I mean, I didn't know about him. So, thanks for introducing me to him, chat. That's all thanks to all of you. I actually tuned into one of his live premieres yesterday. And it was cool. I like his vibe. He's got such good energy, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him on Monday. And then, of course, Drunk 3PO. If you don't know Drunk 3PO, that dude is hilarious. I don't know if he's part of the Geeks and Gamers crew. I don't know. Actually, is he part of the Geeks and Gamers? Do you guys know? Hey. There's nothing wrong with beards, Darth Jason. All right, nothing wrong with beards. Just wasn't for me. Someone said Savannah is better. I've actually, I was actually talking to Savannah earlier today. She is currently traveling over the next couple weeks, probably doing some family holiday stuff. But she will be returning Tuesday nights, the Savannah night. So that is going to be a thing again. I'm looking forward to that. So don't worry, I am excited to have Savannah back on the show. She is fantastic. But anyway, Drunk 3PO, dude is hilarious, and I'm excited to have him on the show. And then I'm going to try to actually get on his show sometime soon as well. Did he go on a date with Gina? I don't know if it was a date, but I know they went out to dinner, and they posted a bunch of different random videos. So that's kind of fun. Anyway, so that's pretty exciting. So next week's gonna be really good. I'm really looking forward to having some great guests next week. I really miss having guests and just chatting with people and having a good conversation and stuff. So anyway, all right. So tonight we are gonna be discussing a few things. China and Apple, the company Apple, yeah, they had a secret deal for Apple to help the Chinese government. And I was going to talk about this yesterday, but then, of course, the Jussie Smollett trial came to a verdict, and I was discussing that. So I really want to discuss that today, and then bring back something that people were complaining about months ago, actually, when Apple was trying to basically spy on everyone's phones, which is absolutely ridiculous, especially now that we know about this secret deal, this billion-dollar deal. Over $240 billion deal that Apple had with the Chinese government. Crazy. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about Elon Musk. This dude, I mean, he is like the based meme lord of the internet. And I mean, if you don't follow him on Twitter, not everyone goes on Twitter. It's not a real place. Thanks, Dave Chappelle. But Elon Musk, he really does make waves in pretty much everything he does. And he is being attacked because he basically ripped apart Biden's Build Back Better infrastructure bill. He's basically saying scrap it. It's a terrible thing. And I've got a couple videos. Wall Street Journal did this interview thing, and of course, as soon as that happened, I started seeing articles about how Elon Musk wants you to die. I kid you. Actually, let me just verbatim. This is the title. Elon Musk thinks you should die. I'm serious. That is the title of this article. So we're going to read that. And then, of course, I want to go into it a little more and clarify what he actually means. And there's another article that about him actually saying we need to procreate more. So we're going to get into that. And then, of course, I want to continue on the Elon Musk subject, but we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about their plans to build a moon base. SpaceX has plans to build a moon base. In fact, Elon just tweeted out earlier today. You know what? Let me find this tweet, actually, so I can bring it up when we're talking about it. He just tweeted about are we going to be on Mars in the next 10 years? And it's pretty awesome. Let me see. He said, only 3 weeks to 2022. What will 2032 look like? Seems so futuristic. Will we be on Mars? And here's his tweet. I'll bring this up back again when we, Julia, we will have 500 genders and mandatory drag kids. My goodness. Julia's song is absolutely based. If you don't know Julia, she's great. She was on my show before, and you should definitely follow her because she's hilarious. But before we get into it all, please do share my videos, share my show. Definitely helps me grow. I really do appreciate all of you who share my stuff. Thank you, seriously, for showing up for me, smashing that like button, subscribing, and all around just being there to support me. I really do owe it all to all of you. Thank you very much. Remember to check out my awesome coffee company. It's roasted on order, meaning you get the freshest coffee that you can find on the internet or anywhere. It's called Crigler Coffee, criglercoffee.com. You can go and check it out. We also have American-made mugs, really solid, really good solid mugs. I really like them. Of course, you can go to my website, adamcrigler.com, and just find everything that I do, all of my links, all of my different social medias, everything to get a hold of me. You can even find my podcast RSS number. We actually upload all of my shows as a podcast form and I guess it's everywhere. And there's the RSS number in case you use podcast applications or something. Excuse me. Got some tea here. Man, it is so nice. Can I just tell you guys how good it is to taste again? It was so weird not being able to taste. It's hard to describe it. Like tea, I was drinking this same exact tea. This tea saved me, even though it just tasted like hot water or honestly, it didn't taste like anything. It was just drinking like warm liquid. Very odd. But then suddenly I was able to taste again, and it was so glorious. So glorious. All right. You know what? I also just want to quickly say Julian Assange should be free. There is some stuff going on with Julian Assange, and British court granted the U.S.'s request to extradite Julian Assange. I don't know if I think it still can be appealed, so it's not set in stone yet. But I think it's absolutely insane that Julian Assange has not been pardoned yet, that he is even being tried at all. He brought truth to the public world, and they are trying to nail him to the cross, and it is absolutely insane. Julian Assange should be a hero. He even tried. He said he called the U.S. government and said, hey, this information got out, all right? It's out into the public world, so we can't stop this. We want to let you know that this is happening. And they were like, drop the book on him. So, you know, I should probably do a segment on this. I'll probably do it next week as everything moves along with this new information that has come to light today, or maybe it was yesterday. No, I think it was today that it happened over in European time. So like it kind of filtered through, but free Julian Assange. I really do think he should be free, and it's absolutely ridiculous that he is not, and he's being held. All right, anyway, let's talk about Apple. So there was a couple months ago where Apple was trying to basically spy on American citizens. Now, it was under the guise of fighting CP, child pornography, which is a horrible thing, and it is terrible. I definitely recognize that there's a problem, even though there's these articles that are coming out that are trying to say that sex trafficking isn't a real thing, even though we are like witnessing the largest sex trafficking trial in history. Ghislaine Maxwell is of course in trial right now. Now, I haven't actually reported on that, but I should probably do some sort of a report. I'd love to actually get Eliza back on the show to talk about it, because she actually had some strong feelings about this Apple move to basically spy on all Apple products under the guise of helping everyone. Of course, you give them an inch, they take a mile. Anyway, then I saw this. Now, this just came out a couple days ago, and paired with what I was just talking about, it's quite frightening. Apple CEO signed a secret agreement with China, promising to help them, report says. According to a new report, Apple CEO Tim Cook secretly signed a $275 billion agreement years ago with the Chinese government, in which he promised Apple would aid China's economy and tech industries with investments as well as worker training. The information reported on Tuesday, iPhone recently became the top-selling smartphone in China, its second biggest market after the US, for the first time in 6 years. But the company owes much of that success to CEO Tim Cook, who laid the foundation years ago by secretly signing an agreement estimated to be worth more than $275 billion, with Chinese officials promising Apple it would do its part to develop China's economy and technological prowess through investments, business deals, and worker training. Cook forged the 5-year agreement, which hasn't been previously reported, during the first of a series of in-person visits he made to the country in 2016 to quash a sudden burst of regulatory actions against Apple's business, according to internal Apple documents viewed by the information. The information added. The Daily Wire reported last June that Cook contacted House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to block Congress's efforts to regulate big tech firms. My goodness, the freaking backwater moves that the backroom, these hidden secret deals, all of this stuff should be public record. This kind of stuff, we're not voting for any of these things. This is being done behind our backs. They're working with the CCP, which I don't know if you've been paying attention over the past few years. The CCP is evil, right? Hold on. I have this article here. Let me just bring this up. This is, there's actually growing fears that China could be hiding missiles in container ships worldwide. Now, of course, this is just a report claiming this to be true, but if it is true, that's insane. New allegations raised in a report by the U.S. Sun stated that missiles could be unleashed on enemy ports, which could be disguised amongst the country's massive fleet of freighters and fishing vessels, which could then be turned into warships using secret missiles. Now, this is kind of crazy, but it's from retired Navy Captain Jim Fannell, a former Pacific Fleet intelligence chief. So this is, it's not proven, but it's kind of scary to see what China could be doing. We don't know. But now we have Apple working with them privately behind closed doors, and then Apple going to Nancy Pelosi behind closed doors going, hey, maybe we should, maybe Congress shouldn't regulate big tech so we can have free reign on whatever we want to do. So let me bring up this other, this now, of course, is from August 6th. It's from the Daily Pundit, or the Gateway Pundit, excuse me. Apple reveals plan to spy on everyone's iPhones. Here's how to check for spy software. Apple signs a secret deal saying to help the Chinese government under the guise of economy and boosting jobs and all that. What else was in that deal? What else do we not know? This was something that was hidden. It's almost 5 years ago, 2016, they signed this deal. Then they're doing this, planning on spying on everyone's iPhones under the guise, of course, looking for CP and all that terrible jazz, which, it's hard to argue against, right? Because we don't want that. But then, of course, my sister, right? My sister has kids. They're amazing kids. And she sent a family, group texts of just like they're twins. They're really cute kids. They're not even a year old yet. They're like 8-9 months. Man, they're growing so fast. But anyway, they were playing in the bath and they're really cute. And it's like, how's Apple to know that it's just like a cute picture that my sister took of her kids that are babies, right? I mean, they're just babies swimming in a bath, and it was really cute. It was sent to the family. So what? They're just gonna like go and arrest my sister for having pictures of her own kids? I mean, I'm gonna have kids soon. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to be a dad, and I'll probably take pictures of them all the time. I live next to a river. We're gonna be swimming in that river all the time. And when they're kids, like, whatever, just throw them in, you know? Well, obviously not throw them in, you know what I'm talking about, but, you know, whatever. I'm going to take cute pictures of my kids. And, like, Apple is now saying that they're going to spy on everyone's phones, but then we're finding out they actually have this secret deal with the Chinese government. Now, I don't know if you know much about the Chinese government. The Chinese government has almost a monopoly on global facial recognition. Like, all of the software that Europe uses for facial recognition is owned by China, right? Think about TikTok, for example, right? I talked about TikTok on the Timcast show for months on end about how it was a spy op for China, and that China manipulates what people see, what's being pushed to the top. Think about Libs of TikTok, right? Libs of TikTok, awesome account over on Twitter. It's not hard to find any of these crazy libs, leftist stuff that's being promoted. Well, why is it being promoted? What does China have to gain from pushing weak men and emasculated men and the whole leftist movement? Yeah, it's to weaken us. It's to make us weaker, right? So all of these different things, you add them all up together. What do you get? It's China reaping the benefits of us being weaker and weaker. That's a problem. You know, China actually banned weak men from television. Like, feminine men aren't even allowed on TV. Like, no, we need masculine men. Why do you suppose they did that? Why would they be pushing it on us via TikTok, right? I mean, it's so embarrassing to have some people that I know that were so against TikTok, because I had conversations about it with them, to then join TikTok. Just because, you know, they need to be on top of getting all of the ratings they can. Embarrassing. Yeah, embarrassing. I'm not going to call the people out, but maybe you can do the math yourself. But man, TikTok, spyware, Apple working with the Chinese government, I don't trust it. Okay? I've seen enough of stuff in the past year to know what to trust and what not to trust. Okay? And it's scary, honestly. These big tech firms that have all this control. We're seeing Twitter, for example, right now, just switched CEOs. Jack Dorsey stepped down as CEO, and there's a new CEO in town. And of course, we're seeing a purge of Twitter accounts. Matt Couch got taken off. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial tracker got taken off. Why? I don't know. Is Twitter protecting elites? I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. And it's kind of frightening to see how many big tech companies have the amount of control that they have. It is frightening. And we need regulations. We need free speech on the internet. We need it protected. We need it protected yesterday. Okay? There's a lot of things in government that need to be changed. And actually, that works perfect to go into my next segment. Elon Musk calling out the government. He's straight up calling the government out in the most brutal fashion. You know, let me play this clip for you guys. Here. I'm going to be able to hear this too. Hold on. Why are my headphones not turning on? There we go.
Then, you know, at a certain point, really what you're doing is capital allocation. So you're not, it's not money for personal expenditures. What you're doing is capital allocation. And it does not make sense to take the job of capital allocation away from people who have demonstrated great skill in capital allocation and give it to, you know, an entity that has demonstrated very poor skill in capital allocation, which is the government. I mean, you can think of the government essentially as a corporation in the limit. The government is simply the biggest corporation with a monopoly on violence,
Boom.
and where you have no recourse.
Can
So
you
how much
explain
money?
that?
I want to play that line again because that is so important.
Corporation with a monopoly. The government is simply the biggest corporation
The government is simply the biggest corporation
with a monopoly on violence.
with a monopoly on violence. That line right there, that line is just amazing. When I heard that line, I was like, wow. He's right. The government is simply the biggest corporation. And then he continues too. He continues talking about actually I have this other clip. Let me just play it for you.
Honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
What about the support though for the charging network? I mean, there are parts of this bill
Unnecessary.
and no.
No, I mean, do we need support for gas stations? We don't. So there's no need for this for support for a charging network. I would delete it. Delete.
Okay, all right.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies.
Boom. Wow. Elon Musk saying get rid of all subsidies. I mean, he reaps the benefits himself. His own companies use subsidies for government programs. So for him to say that, he's that's pretty incredible. But of course, he's also saying the government has too much power and use. There was another video. The interview. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but he talks about how essentially nothing is more permanent than a temporary government program, and that holds so true. It's incredible. And so here, it's from the Wall Street Journal. Elon Musk comes out against federal electric vehicle spending, and it's amazing. He took aim at a signature Biden administration legislative proposal and said China is adjusting to its growing position as a dominant world power in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, which is true and scary, as I just kind of talked about China just earlier. The Tesla Inc. chief executive criticized federal efforts meant to spur electric vehicle adoption, including a bill that would boost incentives for buying battery-powered cars. You know, it just reminds me of Pete Buttigieg. He straight out came out and said, hey, if Americans just bought electric vehicles, they wouldn't have to worry about gas prices. These people are so far removed from reality. People can't afford electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are expensive. It's insane. They're like $30,000. That's not cheap. And then when the batteries die, you have to replace them. And they're super expensive to replace batteries in electric vehicles. It's really insane. Oh, man. The House passed a roughly $2 trillion social spending and climate bill championed by President Biden that would give consumers a tax credit of as much as $12,500 if they buy an electric vehicles assembled by union workers using American-built batteries. Vehicles made in non-union factories, such as Tesla's, would qualify for a smaller credit, of course, because, Biden's got to protect the ruling class. The Senate has yet to vote on the measure. He said, honestly, I would just can this whole bill, Mr. Musk said during a virtual appearance in the Wall Street Journal CEO Council Summit, speaking from a Tesla factory being built in the Austin, Texas area. He also said that federal funding for electric vehicle charging is unnecessary. The infrastructure package that Mr. Biden signed into law in November includes a $7.5 billion to expand the nation's network of electric vehicle charging stations. Do we need support for gas stations? We don't. Delete it, he says. So Elon Musk, right, coming out and speaking against the U.S. government, saying this stuff doesn't need to be happening. It's unnecessary completely. Seriously, within hours, this article popped up. And I was like, are you kidding me? Elon Musk thinks you should die. What does that sound like? That sounds like fear-mongering to me. I don't know about you, but that's fear-mongering. Elon Musk thinks you should die. Wow. Well, what does he mean by that? when billionaire Elon Musk isn't running Tesla or SpaceX as CEO, where he's attempting to transform how we drive and turn humans into a multi-planet species, he's not researching the secrets to immortality. Okay. All right. That's such a weird way of saying he's not researching the secret to immortality. He says, I am not aware of any secret technology to combat aging, he said during an interview this week at Wall Street Journal CEO Council Summit. Moreover, if humans could live much longer, Musk said, that wouldn't be such a good thing for human society as a whole. It's important for us to die because most of the time people don't change their mind. They just die, he said. If you live forever, we might become a very ossified society where new ideas cannot succeed. The concept that people don't change their minds, even when provided with factual evidence to the contrary, has been repeatedly confirmed in studies across the last 50 years. I mean, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention over the past year, just the past year, about people not changing their lives, or excuse me, their minds when presented with factual information about certain subjects, because there's a lot of examples. The jab, the election fraud, those two are like the top things, right? I mean, obviously, people don't want to change their mind. They just need to stick with the narrative or else they get triggered and their whole worldview gets attacked and they need to viciously attack back because you're attacking their worldview. Crazy. Anyway, therefore, Musk argued if people were to live longer or to become immortal, it could have a detrimental effect on society where ideas stagnate and fester rather than being evolved and overtaken by succeeding generations of people. You know what? He's got a good point. I agree with him 100%. He's not saying he wants you to die. Let me just go back. Elon Musk thinks you should die. That's the way they're putting it. They're making it seem like he wants people to die. That's not what he's saying. He's saying we shouldn't live forever. We shouldn't be immortal. I mean, the elites will just take over. And of course, the elites aren't going to change their mind. They're going to believe that they're the people that should control everyone because you know that they think that. You know they're out thinking that we think we should control everyone. We think we know what's best for everyone. We think that we should control what your kids learn. Sound familiar? Yeah, you're a domestic terrorist if you don't agree with that statement. This isn't the first time Musk has gone after aging populations' impact on everyone else. He recently argued for age limits on holding public office. Good! I love that idea. Nancy Pelosi is 80 years old. How old is Joe Biden? He's too old for office. The dude mumbles. He reads every single thing on the teleprompter. End of message. Salute the Marines. This dude is a freaking joke. All right. He is clearly not mentally fit to be in office. And I feel like that holds true on a lot of people. Looking at you, Nancy Pelosi. My goodness, is that woman old. He recently argued and echoed these sentiments during the Wall Street Journal conference. I'm not poking fun at aging, he said. I am saying we've got people in very important positions that have to make decisions that are critical for the security of the country. Then they need to have the sufficient presence of mind and cognitive ability to make those decisions well, because the whole country is depending on them. Based and so on point. He's absolutely right. Does anybody out there think that Biden is cognitively available and on top of on his game? I mean, I've listened to enough of his own speeches or the plagiarized ones. Doesn't matter, because he plagiarized basically his entire career. But my goodness, the differences between early Biden and now is night and day. He is mumbling. He's being this weird, quiet, emphasize, and then yelling really loud about things and smacking the table and getting angry at people because he's dementia-ridden. My goodness. He's absolutely right. Look, the current U.S. president, for instance, is 79 years old and was born during World War II. The last U.S. president left office at age 74. These people are getting up there in age. In Musk's opinion, neither man would have been able to hold office as they're both aged over 70. You can watch the full interview over on on this site. Actually, it posts it right here. And if you want to actually reference any of the things that I post them over on my locals page, adamcrigler.locals.com. You can go over there and reference any of this article is actually there. But in reality, he's actually he's so right. I agree with him 100%. There should be an age, some sort of, maybe not an age limit, but a cognitive limit. Like you have to pass cognitive tests. Trump passed that cognitive test and said, I want to see Biden do it. And they were like, no, we're not going to do it. 70 isn't old, Diana. I agree with you. It's not about age. It's about mental cognition, right? It's about the ability to function and think and speak clearly and be able to articulate your ideas without mumbling or having an earpiece to tell you what to say or a teleprompter that you have to rely on. Trump has made fun of Biden so many times. He's like, he throws the paper like, I don't need this paper. I could just speak to you guys. I could speak because I still can function mentally. And, it's quite a feat to see him be as articulate as he is. I mean, Trump doesn't drink. He hasn't drank his whole life. He lost his own brother to alcoholism, and it was a really sad thing. But his brother told him, like, don't ever drink. The worst thing I ever did was start to drink. And, like, that's huge. So I think that plays a part. I don't know if Biden's a drinker, but I can tell you that I don't think he's cognitively fit to be the president of the United States. And Elon Musk is on it, and term limits as well. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, how long has she been in office? My goodness, she needs to be removed. Yes. And even, you know what? Speaking of Twitter banning people, someone just mentioned this, the Nancy Pelosi tracker because she insider trading, they were basically calling her out on insider trading. That got banned for some reason. Why? I don't know. Big tech is obviously protecting the elite class. Anyway, Elon Musk says civilization will crumble if people don't have more kids. So what is it? Does he want you to die, or does he want us to prosper and have more kids? Which is it? They're obviously trying to vilify Elon Musk because he's clearly not in the circle. Biden's giving incentives for, granted, it's American-made batteries, which, of course, are really expensive because, I don't know if you know this, Hunter Biden actually gave all sorts of different cobalt mines and sold them to China. So now they actually control about 80% of the electric vehicle manufacturing or the battery manufacturing. Crazy. Anyway. Tesla CEO Elon Musk believes the biggest threat to humanity is the declining birth rate, warning that civilization will crumble if people don't start having more kids. I think one of the biggest risks to civilization is the low birth rate and the rapidly declining birth rate. Father of 6 said did he have 6 kids? I didn't even know he had 6 kids. Wow. And yet so many people, including smart people, think that there are too many people in the world and think that the population is growing out of control, Musk continued. It's completely the opposite. Please look at the numbers. If people don't have more children, civilization is going to crumble. Mark my words. The billionaire's remarks come in response to a question about how his company's not yet released Tesla bot could solve labor issues. At an unveiling event in August, Musk said the 5'8" 125-pound robot could be ready as soon as next year and will have a profound impact on the economy by driving down labor costs. On Monday, he added that the Tesla bot could be a generalized substitute for human labor over time, which will become increasingly critical for businesses if human labor supplies fail. The global birth rate has been steadily declining since 1960, according to the data of the World Bank. It's not the first time Musk has warned about declining birth rate of the global population. In 2017, he responded to a New Scientist article that explored the question of whether population bomb could soon go off. The world's population is accelerating towards collapse, but few seem to notice or care, he said at the time. And here's this is from July 26 when that article came out. In July of this year, analysts at Morgan Stanley attributed the declining birth rate to concerns related to climate change. Of course they did. The movement to not have children owing to fears over climate change is growing and impacting fertility rates quicker than any preceding trend in the field of fertility decline, they said at the time. Having a child is 7 times worse for the climate in CO2 emissions annually than the next 10 most discussed mitigants that individuals can do, the analysts at Morgan Stanley said, adding that many would-be parents are forgoing family in an effort to reduce their own carbon footprint. Despite research that has suggested having fewer kids would reduce a household's impact on climate change, scientists have said population control isn't a practical way to respond to climate change since it would be too late anyway. Kimberly Nicholas, a sustainability science researcher in Sweden, said in an interview with Vox earlier this year that it is true that more people will consume more resources and cause more greenhouse gas emissions. But that's not really the relevant time frame for actually stabilizing the climate, given that we have this decade to cut emissions in half. You know, I have to add, okay, switching to electronic vehicles, they are now digging up more rainforests. They're actually about to rip apart Greenland. We are about to rip Earth up more to switch to greener energy. We are going to lose more forests. We are probably going to ruin shipping stuff across seas. I mean, we are getting our electric vehicle batteries from China. 80% of it comes from China. I mean, and how do they get here? Over these boats that are terrible for the environment, shipping stuff. I mean, even going back to like skateboards, they get Canadian maple, it goes to China or the Pacific, across the Pacific to be shaped and made into boards cheaply and then be shipped back over here. We're literally shipping wood back and forth just to make skateboards. That's one product. Now think about electronic vehicles and then think about all the stuff that goes into them and then how we're actually mining these things. If we want to actually save the climate, right, we need to get off of Earth and stop digging into Earth. This is why I talk about mining asteroids. I've talked about it a few times. Like, we really need to get into space and start mining all of the stuff that's out there ready for us. All the different materials that we need to make everything is out in space. We need to focus on that, right? And not dig into Earth more, further reducing the amount of oxygen that comes out. We're killing the oceans. You know, a lot of our oxygen comes from the oceans. And we're killing the oceans, we're killing the forests, but all under the guise of switching to green energy, which is just insanity. It's a big problem. And so let me move on. I want to talk about this a little bit more because this kind of plays perfectly in what I want to talk about. Moving into space, becoming a multiplanetary society is really important. And I actually have this article from Teslarati, which is kind of like a SpaceX news, Tesla news, everything Elon Musk essentially. SpaceX details plan to build Mars base Alpha with reusable Starship rockets. Of course, these are the Starship rockets here. There's 3 of them. This is the rocket that has been being worked on by Elon Musk and his company SpaceX. Very exciting stuff. They are planning on going to the moon in the next couple years. He even just tweeted out the other day, was it today actually? Wow, only 3 weeks until 2022, which is actually in itself pretty insane. What will 2032 be like? Seems so futuristic. Will we be on Mars? Well, here is the plan that Elon Musk is actually pushing forward to do exactly that. For the first time, SpaceX has teamed up with researchers at NASA and several other U.S. institutions for publicly discussing how it plans to use Starbase to build Mars Base Alpha. Save for a handful of comments spread throughout the periphery of SpaceX and CEO Elon Musk's main focus, Starship itself, the company, and its executives have almost never specifically discussed how the next generation fully reusable rocket will be used to create a permanent human presence on Mars. For the most part, that clear focus on the near-term hurdles is hard to fault. Half a century of mostly theoretical analysis has made it abundantly clear that a permanent and sustainable extraterrestrial human outpost is impossible without a radical reduction in the cost of access to space. For decades, NASA has studied and studied and studied slight variations of a plan that would cost hundreds of billions of dollars to send a few astronauts to Mars for a few months at a time. I just want to add, if we started mining asteroids and we don't have to bring stuff from Earth into space construction where we're actually building the stuff out in space, and we can have, bring asteroids somewhat closely where we can disassemble them and mine them and bring the materials from one point in space to a close point in space, so we don't have to deal with gravity where we build stuff and actually then, this is the kind of stuff that's going to drastically reduce cost. Now, of course, I know that in itself is going to be incredibly expensive. Incredibly. Anyway, let's go back. Put simply, without a revolution in space transport, even a temporary presence on Mars, where inhabitants are mostly dependent on imported goods, is infeasible unless Mars exploration is made a national or international priority on the order of tens of billions of dollars per year. Over the 80 to 90 years that spaceflight has been seriously pondered, dozens of groups and papers and studies and space agencies have imagined what the revolution might look like, and SpaceX is not unique for proposing a solution to that long-standing problem. However, SpaceX is the first of that long list of contenders to propose a solution, and both invest significant resources and put the hammer to the metal in an attempt to make that vision real. Elon Musk is making it happen, and it is very cool. Very excited about that. 2 years after SpaceX announced its intention to build that next-generation space transportation system, Musk revealed a radical design change, and work on the first steel Starship prototypes began. 3 years later, SpaceX has completed 9 Starship flight tests, 4 brief hops, and 5 flights above 10 kilometers, or 6 miles. In 2021 alone, SpaceX completed 4 of those high-altitude flight tests, recovered a high-altitude prototype intact for the first time, built the first orbiter-class ship and booster prototypes, began testing that ship, and is nearly finished with the first orbital Starship launch site from scratch. In April, SpaceX also secured a $2.9 billion NASA contract to build a human-rated moon lander variant of Starship. Very, very exciting. To put simply, SpaceX, and now NASA with it, has laid a sturdy foundation upon which Starship will almost certainly be realized. The great deal of work remains, but SpaceX has more or less surmounted most of the major technical hurdles that towered over Starship, BFR, and ITS just a few years ago. A wealth of Starship ground and flight tests have firmly demonstrated that the rocket's structures, the rocket structures, avionics, Raptor engines, exotic methods of descent and landing, and previously unknown fuel of choice are all ready for the orbital flight. From then on, SpaceX will need to prove out Starship's massive ceramic, non-ablative heat shield technology, mature orbit rocket refueling techniques and technologies, and finally operationalize all of the above to make the rapid launch, reuse, and refueling of the largest rockets in history routine and mundane. Something SpaceX has proven to be more than capable of with Dragon and Falcon, which, of course, if you guys don't know, it's these reusable rockets and the Dragon capsules that are reusable, autonomy, like they can fly themselves, connect themselves to the International Space Station, disconnect and land all autonomously. It's amazing. He's reusing everything and creating a way to reuse everything. And this is the future. We are seriously witnessing the future of space travel. And his tweet about being on Mars in 2032, I would not put it past him to make that actually be possible. Okay, so how will SpaceX proceed to the red planet? Well, here it goes here. Excuse me, let me drink a little of my tea here. That is delicious. With the help of co-authors from NASA, AMS, SETI, and a dozen of prestigious U.S. universities and institutes, SpaceX has begun to answer exactly that question in a 2021 white paper submitted by the National Academy's Next Planetary Science and Astrobiology Decadal Survey. While that survey alone could influence NASA, as the agency prepares to outline its next decade of space science and determine the ultimate destination of tens of billions of federal dollars, the consequences of which could be immense. SpaceX also used the paper to describe its plans for early missions to Mars in unprecedented detail. As has always been the plan, SpaceX will begin the process of constructing sustainable cities on Mars with a few relatively simple steps. Likely as soon as the mid-2020s, SpaceX will begin launching uncrewed starships to Mars to both verify the system's maturity and readiness and deliver significant quantities of cargo to the surface in advance of human arrival. Likely leaning on a wide range of robotics, those early missions will help SpaceX characterize local resources, stage supplies, test technologies for long-duration Mars surface ops, and begin developing infrastructure, with the propellant plant likely being the most pressing need. None of that is surprising, however, there is more. According to the authors, which several include current and former SpaceX engineers, current SpaceX mission planning tasks those early uncrewed starships with delivering equipment for increasing power production, water extraction, LOX, methane production, pre-prepared landing pads, radiation shielding, dust control equipment, exterior shelters for humans and equipment, and more, all hardware needed to support the first human base. Further, confirming what's been assumed for the plan for years, humans will likely live on starships for the first few years until additional habitats are constructed, and the first wave of uncrewed starships can be relocated and or repurposed as needed to support the humans on the surface, serving as valuable assets for storage, habitation, scientific laboratories, and a source of refined metal structures and resources. The paper also states that SpaceX is aggressively developing Starship to conduct initial flight tests to Mars as soon as 2022. That's next year, or 2024. And even raises the possibility of SpaceX launching the first starships to Mars before the rocket's first lunar mission, but then launching a separate lunar mission and landing a different starship on the moon while the Mars-bound ship or ships are still in transit, because of course it takes about 7 months to get to Mars. The white paper marks the first time that SpaceX, or those familiar with the company's plans, has properly fleshed out the basic of its first crewed and uncrewed missions to Mars, and confirms a great deal of well-informed speculation. Namely, SpaceX appears to intend to pack even the very first Mars-bound ships with supplies. But even if they don't bring much, the first Martian immigrants, launched in batches of 10 to 20 people alongside 100 metric tons of cargo, will reuse all surviving starships as pre-emplaced habitats, storage tanks, and raw material feedstock. Early cargo will focus on power, water, and propellant production, as well as shelters, radiation shielding, and the construction of prepared landing pads. Unsurprisingly, early residents will likely make the starships that carry them to Mars their first homes on the surface of the red planet, taking advantage of a 1,100 square or meters cubed or 3,900 square. Is it not cubed feet? Pressurized volume already outfitted to keep dozens of people alive and healthy in deep space for months at a time. This is exciting. Man, every single time I read this kind of stuff, I get so hyped because I love space. I don't know if you know this about me. I've always been a big fan of space. Space is awesome. I think we are watching the birth of humans moving into space and being just a space-faring civilization. We're seeing it happen. We've got Elon Musk who's actually making these moves to push us into space, and it is incredible. We're witnessing it. We're seeing this. These are the first plans to build an actual human habitat on Mars, a different planet in our solar system. We're going to do it. In my lifetime, I'm going to witness this. My own kids might be astronauts one day. And that's so cool to think about. I mean, obviously, they could do whatever they want whenever they grow up, and I'll support them no matter what they do. But just the thought of it, like the next generation after me could be exploring space. You know that we actually just created a warp bubble I kid you not, there has been a warp bubble that has been created. Now, this is a very long article and very deep and hard to understand. I think it'd be a little too sciencey for my show, but it's very exciting. We are witnessing the birth of so many different just space-related things. Now, it is a very tiny warp bubble, but it's still a warp bubble. Apologies, I still have a little bit of, just congestion here. All right, I am very excited about this kind of stuff. I think this is just, I'm so hyped about it. We're going to be going to the moon. We're going to have a moon base in the next 10 years. We're going to be going to Mars, and it's very exciting. I am very excited about it. I'm going to read some super chats. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's Friday. Friday Night Tights is a fantastic show. They had Zuby on earlier, and now they have Drew Hernandez. Really hard to compete with those amazing fellows. I really do love them, and I really am happy that they're doing so well. So let me get into some super chats. I saw a couple member. I wonder if I could figure out how to see the member messages, because I saw a couple come in and I actually can't see those in my, they disappear essentially. Members, maybe if I can see the member messages here. Member comments. Yeah, unfortunately, they disappear. I think Sectus Gaming, I think you said something. I think you said something about actually facing me yesterday. So I was playing Dead by Daylight last night with Darth Call. And I actually, so at the end of the matches, you can talk to the killer. Dead by Daylight is a game where there's 4 survivors and 1 killer. And they're all players. So it's a PvP game. But the survivors have to work together to finish these generators to power the doors to escape. And the killer has to kill them. And it turns out Sectus Gaming was the killer, and me and Call actually faced against him. And I don't see your message, but I knew you said something about how we were, how cool it was to face me and Call. It was really cool, and that was really awesome. So it was really fun to randomly see someone that knows me. He was like, yo, I saw, yo, Crigler and Call. And I was like, that's my name. Like, what? Because my online moniker is It's Commodore. That's what I go. And then, of course, my Twitch stream is Commodore Crigler. And that's fun. I actually might go stream on Twitch later on tonight. You guys can follow me over there if you'd like. It's Commodore Crigler on Twitch. I might play some Dead by Daylight later on tonight. I'm pushing for rank 1. I'm really close. Anyway, that's besides the point. So Sectus Gaming was the killer, and it was cool to face someone that I know. And then, of course, we got Robert Wiles said, I hope this makes Betty smile and Diana Francisco smile. Thanks to everyone who was wishing me well. To Alpha Zero Omega, he sent me a Christmas gift. Oh, that's very cool. Sectus Gaming actually just did a super chat as well. He says, with a $25 super chat, thank you so much. He says, thanks, Adam, for always trying to spread the love that we need in these troubling times. God bless you and chat. Let's go, Brandon. I'm ready to test fate and get that 69 roll, baby. Dude, Sectus, you're at like 25 rolls now. Spin the friggin' UFO. Well, unfortunately, I don't have the UFO with me, but that is okay. I have the members, okay? All of you members, let's see you spin those UFOs. Sectus, I see you in chat still. I'm glad you're still here. Spin that UFO. You guys all have the ability to spin the actual UFO. Okay. You said you were nice and let everyone live, but you played hard. So wait, did you let me live at the end there? So I thought you could have had me, and I was like, oh man, I'm about to get killed. You could have killed me, couldn't you? But Call would have tried to get me off the hook, because that dude is absolutely insane and always tries to save everyone. Thanks for all the UFOs spinning, guys. You guys are amazing. Lightning World says, Crigler Coffee rules. I appreciate that. Byron Bank says, you look like your age. Do I? Do I look 37? Do I look 37 too, guys? I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Jules says, hey, Adam, I have an F Mary Kill for you. What does that mean? Sour Patch Luda, Carlin B, and Miracle from Crigler Castle go. I don't know what that means. Of an F, Mary Kill for you. Sour Patch Luda, Karen B, and Miracle from Crigler Castle. I don't understand what that means, but okay. A handsome baby face. Oh, thank you, Diana. I appreciate that. Helix with a $10 super chat that says the growth of masking culture, which complicates automated facial recognition, may be the only upside of the pandemic. Hiding your face was normalized among those who most worship the state. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't like mask culture at all. I don't like it. I think it's insane. In fact, there was a gun store that said we pull our guns on anyone who's masked, so no masks allowed, and that makes sense. You go into a gun store with a mask on your face, they can't see you, and they don't like it. What did that mean? You guys are all trying to explain what that meant. What does that mean? Darth Jason said I look 12 with no beard. Get out of here. Do I look younger? Thank you. I guess, you know what the trick is? Not stressing out. I think that's the key, is just not stressing. I'll be honest. I'm very lucky. I've lived a very, very lucky life. I'm very blessed to have the family that I have, the support that I have. My wife, she is amazing. I've lived a very good life, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you for helping that continue. I really love what I do. I love coming and hanging out with you guys every day and, reading stuff and furthering my mind. And, I just really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate my life. And if you've had a great life, hopefully, recognize it. Oh, it's a game? The game F, Marry, Kill? Okay, so I don't know. Oh, you have to choose? Oh my gosh. That's the game? You have to pick who you would marry, who you would F, and who you would kill? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not playing that game. That is brutal. Okay, I get it now. And I don't like it. I'm not playing that game. That's terrible. Oh God, no. I didn't know that game. I've never heard of it, but I'm not playing that game. Not with those subjects. No, I want to know the answer, man. If I don't know, I want to know, Now I know. So, thank you. I'm glad I know the answer. Gosh, some high school. Yeah, Notorious is like, that's some high school stuff. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm good. 37 years old and have not played that game. Yeah, I guess not, man. I guess not. I was kind of a loner in high school. When I was in high school, I really kind of did my own thing and stuck with my group. We played a lot of Magic the Gathering and Vampire the Masquerade. And yeah. So I'm not playing that game. No, I'm not doing it. Fantastic, Mr. Knox, celebrating becoming a member. Thank you, Mr. Knox. Appreciate that support. I really do appreciate that. He says, had to join again since I don't use locals often. That's okay. I do appreciate that. Although, if you do become a member over on my locals page, I get a much bigger cut. YouTube tends to take a fairly big chunk, but that's all right. I appreciate you either way, though. Daniel says, Adam, I dropped you a message on Facebook about a super chat app I'm working on for streamers like you. Please let me know what you think. Thanks. Oh, okay. I don't check my Facebook messages ever. I only go on Facebook once a day to post my stream. I do not use Facebook. I tend to never go on there. Nora says, Adam, you look 37. All right. Well, I am 37, so I guess I look my age. That's good. I'm cool with it. Because Reason says, do you like the singer/writer Jewel? Like the musician Jewel? I don't think I can actually think of any Jewel songs. I kid you not. I can't even picture a Jewel song. Not one. I'm serious. I have no idea. Bobcat says, I have to disagree with Elon Musk on biological immortality being a bad thing. Think about the main problem with space exploration. No, I agree with him. I think there's that quote. I don't know who came up with it, but it's a man has two lives. The second one begins when they realize they only have one. And I love that. I love that sentiment because I feel like I've reached that point in my life where I realize I only have one life, and I want to cherish it. I want to make it last as long as possible. I want to be healthy. I want to be there for my kids. I want to see my kids' kids. You know, I want to live to be old and be healthy, you know, and I only have this one life, and I remember in my 20s the feeling that I was going to live forever and just, you know, eating like crap and not caring as much. And, you know, immortality would, I don't know, it's a scary thought. I don't think immortality is the right thing. You're talking to someone who loves talking about space exploration. You know, I think there's some possibility in understanding the way frogs freeze themselves, you know, because they can freeze themselves, and it's a really amazing thing that they do, that we might be able to do cryo freezing, you know, like who knows if that's going to be the future of space exploration, where, you know, to go to, say, Alpha Centauri, you know, and it's, you know, I don't know how many light years away that is, but clearly we're going to have to figure something out, you know, unless, you know, this warp bubble thing, like somehow we learn how to manipulate gravity or something. It'd be crazy. So I don't know, but I think immortality is a scary thought. Leonardo says, fun fact, for the amount of money the U.S. spent jailing people for having weed in the last 30 years, we could have built a Mars base and put 40 people in it. Yeah, it's insane. The war on drugs in general is insane. Especially weed, like it's such a, you know, the one thing I did like about weed, like I don't smoke anymore. I used to when I was younger. I was always getting control of myself, you know, like I don't like to get drunk. I like to drink whiskey. You guys know I like whiskey, but I never like to get drunk. I never like to drink to the point of being drunk because I don't like being out of control of myself. I like to remain in control, and weed, I never lost control of myself. I was always in control. You just were stoned. For those who have smoked and know what I'm talking about. I think it's so stupid, like this war on weed. And the reason it was made illegal in the first place was just ridiculous. You know, it was just because it was competition for a paper company who just wanted to use his paper company for the newspaper instead of using hemp, which is incredibly cheap. But thanks for Trump for making hemp legal federally. I appreciate that. I think that's a huge thing. Someone's calling me a quitter. 6079 Smith saying I'm a quitter because I quit. I mean, I would probably smoke again in the future. Weed makes you complacent. Yeah, I agree with that, and I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. It's almost kind of like an escapism thing, where you kind of like just dull your brain and lets you kind of just zone out. And I don't want to zone out. I love my life. I had some trauma in my younger years that I have faced, and I feel like I've beaten that, and I really want all of life. I want to experience everything. I don't want to dull any of my experiences because I love my life so much. I love where I'm at. I love who I am. I love the people that are around me. I have incredible people. I have an incredible chat that shows up for me. I want to experience it all. And I feel like whenever I smoke, I always end it. There's always a feeling of like, oh, why did I do that? And I don't like that feeling ever. So I haven't smoked in a long time. I don't tend to smoke anymore. So it's not my vibe. It used to be, but not anymore. Mazo, thank you for that little hot dog. I appreciate that. All right, guys, that is my show. You know the deal. I am going to play some songs. God, that tea is really good. Let me check if this thing is still in tune. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I know it's Friday, and you guys probably had a long week. Can you guys hear that? I don't know if you can even hear the guitar. Can you hear the guitar? Is it loud enough? I have not played guitar for you guys in a long time, huh? Jam night. It's good. Sounds good. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is my classical guitar. I really love this thing. This is a Yamaha CGX 171 CCA. Really funny title, but I really love it. Lower the mic or turn the gain up a little bit. Yeah, I feel like it's... I can't lower the mic any more than I could just angle it a little further down. Just a little softer than usual. Let me turn the mic gain up a little bit. How's that, guys? Is that a little bit better? I'm really looking forward to next week. I love having guests on my show. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be great. Flawdzilla is coming on Monday. Drunk 3PO is going to be on Tuesday. Garrett's going to be... What was that? Did you guys see that? I just saw something flash across my screen. I'm not sure if it was across the camera or my screen. That was weird. Because Reason says, maybe this will help. Who will save your soul? Look at... Oh, Who will save your soul? Yeah. I know Jewel. Look it up. She's a really great woman with one heck of a life story. Oh, okay. I don't know anything about her. Seriously, I don't know anything. Someone saw an orb. Did you guys see that? It was a moth. Maybe it was a moth. I don't see any moths in here. Get a pickup mic. I actually have one inside here, and in fact my audio thing, it actually has a guitar input. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get the connection so I can plug my guitar directly in, so that you guys will actually... That's pretty cool. I didn't even think about that I could do that. I can connect my guitar directly to my mic input, so you guys can actually hear. You can hear it. I don't know what I'm gonna play here. What do you guys want me to play? Tonight with my love, all the cats are in the streets. Like us, they're trying to find a way home. Yeah, face life and land up on their feet. I'm talking about them little things that make you sing and feel alright. A natural high inside, like sunshine and rain. A fresh coffee to start my day. I'm just glad I found my way home with you. I've been walking it so long,
Now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long. Now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long. Now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long. Now I'm walking with you. Sunsets alone the colonnade. All good bird dogs in bed are on their way. Like us, they're trying to find a way home. Yeah, face life and its insanities. I'm talking about them little things. Little things that make you sing and feel alright. A natural high side. Yeah, like sunshine and rain. A fresh coffee to start my day. I'm just glad I found my way home with you. I've been walking it so long. Well, now I'm walking with you. I've been walking it so long. Now I'm walking with you. Now I'm walking with you. Now I'm walking with you. Yeah.
Do a little chiller version of it because I am feeling it in my chest still, unfortunately. You want a Christmas album? Oh man. I don't know if I could do a Christmas album. Thank you, Avery. I love you too. Taking it back is your mood today, huh? I don't know if I could sing that one. It's hard to... So this classical guitar is so different, man. It's so... Freely, huh? I could probably play freely on this guitar. It's, it just has such a different vibe, and there's so many songs that just don't feel right on it. Life sucks sometimes, but when you realize it's not so bad, so move along. What choice do you have? You choose where your mind spends all its time. When it all comes freely, it's wonderful. Let it all come crashing like the ocean tide. And climb up to the top of the mountainside and scream it out. Don't hold it inside. When you find a smile, naturally, that's a magic, don't forget it. It'll help you see. In the night, in the dark in the night, when you're trying to find your way and you've lost your sight. When it all comes freely, it's wonderful. Let it all come crashing like the ocean tide.
climb up to the top of the mountain and scream it out. Don't hold it inside. And when it all comes freely, it's wonderful. Let it all come crashing like the ocean tide. Climb up to the top of the mountainside and scream it out. Don't hold it inside.
I am a little lightheaded there. They say I'm sounding good tonight. Thank you guys. I've got this like I don't know, this congestion that's I can hear that it's changing the sound of my voice, and you guys are hearing that. So yeah, I thank you. Let's see. What should I play that's built on this? Oh, I got some new super chats. Thanks, guys. Mazzo says, always Hellhound or find yourself. Yeah, you really like Hellhound. I don't think I can play Hellhound on this guitar. I think I tried it and it was like so weird. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it, but I'll play Find Yourself for you, Mazzo, for sure. Serious Business says, play Pam Ram Ranch. I don't even know what that is, but it's certainly not one of my own songs. Sejong the Great, hey, what's good, says, hola everyone, finally got a chance to super chat. I broke my display port on my monitor when I tilted it up to access the USB ports. Oh, that sucks. That's rough. Serious Business says, babyface cutie pie. Oh, well, thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about me because I got rid of my beard, although I still, I got a little shadow going on, I couldn't get rid of it all. I wasn't I didn't shave. I just used a trimmer, just to buzz it. Don't overdo it. No, I'm not going to overdo it. Don't worry. I could tell this tea is actually really helping a lot. Words in a book? No, I don't know the words in that book. I wonder if I can pull it out of my ass. Oh, man. I honestly, I don't even remember the guitar part to it. So, bring back beard, Adam. The beard comes and goes, guys. The beard comes and goes. I can't play green tea because I don't have a capo. Do I have a capo? Did I find one? Do I have a capo? I thought maybe I found a capo. I don't have a capo, so I can't actually play it. I need a sip of whiskey. I do have a little bit of whiskey. I guess I could. No, That Simple Nope says you should probably get those lungs checked out. I'm not done playing guitar. I'm just putting it down for a second. I don't think I'm definitely feeling better. All right, so I'm on the mend. Every day I wake up and I'm feeling a little better, a little less phlegmy. I thought I did find a capo, Diana. I swear I thought I don't know where it would be. It would be on my desk though, somewhere. And hold on. I swear I found a capo. I don't know where it is, but you know what? I do need to go to a music shop anyway because my mic here has a like an interface that it plugs into, but my interface actually has two inputs, one for a guitar and one for a mic, and it's kind of small, so it's like my mobile unit. So I can actually plug my guitar into the interface, so you guys actually get it directly into your ears, which I think is going to be huge for being able to do it. So I do have a little bit of whiskey, so maybe I should have a little bit of a whiskey. You know what I mean? Why not? This is just a little John Bar. I got my mom's little shot glasses. Just gonna have some, just a little bit. Cheers, everybody. Thank you, Darth Jason. He says, we just care about you, bro, and we need you healthy. Thank you very much. I'm telling you, I'm feeling a lot better. All right. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. We got some more. Let's see. Sejong says replacement is on the way. Never fear. Oh, good to know. Good to know. Real Hydro says commission someone to record an intro. But why wouldn't I just do my own intro? Dat Simple Nope says you should probably get those lungs checked out. I'm good. I'm feeling better. Also, you look like a college student. Do I really? College student? Wow. Like early 20s? Thank you. All right. Carnell, hey, what's good? He says, hello, hello, hello. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Good to see you, Carnell. How you doing, man? Good seeing these faces. You guys are fantastic.
Hello, 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 hello. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Can I have your number? Sitting at the bar, sitting side by side. What's your drink and what's your name? What's your problem? I'll be the blame. I'll be your only. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Can I have your number? I never meant to run away. I never meant to run away. I never meant to run away with your heart. With your heart. Hello, 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 hello. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Can I have your number? I never meant to run away. I never meant to run away. I never meant to run away with your heart. With your heart. With your heart. So goodbye. For now, we'll talk soon, soon. When I call you later, I never meant to run away. I never meant to run away. I never meant to run away with your heart. With your heart. With your heart.
That was for Carnell. All right, I'm gonna play "Find Yourself" for Mazo. Asked for it earlier. Hip Cats Vintage says, just tuned in. Who's this man? Babyface. Good to see you. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday to you as well. Yes, I do look younger, don't I, when I shave? Yeah, thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing. This is "Find Yourself." Oh, you know, I should do the classical version. Oh, I can't play it like that. I gotta. It's so weird playing certain songs like this.
All the saints are calling all the masses. They want your soul, go pay all their taxes. Don't fear your belief of what you are inside. Hold it dear, it's the truth that they're trying to hide. Recognize the first stage of trouble. Open your eyes to disguise. Start searching deep in your soul, deep inside your soul, and find yourself. No one else will find yourself, 'cause no one else will. Hey, can I get just a little taste? A salivating little getaway. Where are you? On your knees, swallowing the answers. Authority, see, they don't take chances. Are we blind? It's a crime that we can't ignore. I think it's time we show them that we'll take no more. Recognize the first stage of trouble. Open your eyes to disguise. Start searching deep in your soul, deep inside your soul, and find yourself. 'Cause no one else will find yourself. No one else will. We must unequivocally disobey. Help me, Horace, let me seize the day. With a Guy Fawkes mask, true determination, anonymous bliss, who controls the nation? Are we blind? It's a crime that we can't ignore. I think it's time we show them that we'll take no more. Recognize the first stage of trouble. Open your eyes to disguise. Start searching deep in your soul, deep inside your soul, and find yourself. 'Cause no one else will find yourself. 'Cause no one else will. Recognize the first stage of trouble. Open your eyes to disguise. Start searching.
All right, everybody, that is it. I'm going to cut myself off because I am feeling it in my chest. Thank you guys so much. You guys are so amazing. I've got one more. Defector says, if you should appear on Friday Night Tights in future episodes, you gotta fight for the jams, man. With infinite love and gratitude, with me, ya boy, Deflect. Thank you, Deflect. That is so nice of you. Yeah, I don't know if that just feels pushy. I don't know. You know, I'm honored every time that I am, invited over to Friday Night Tights. It's an honor to be over there, and it's their show, so I kind of do my just follow along with them, and I laugh a lot, and it feels like I would be trying to I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It's my jam night. It's over on my show. So a lot of people are saying that was a really cool rendition. Thank you guys. That's cool. Yeah, it's very different when I slow it down a lot. I tend to. Hopefully you guys can hear the guitar because I feel like I sing a little louder. The balance is a little off. But you guys are amazing. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you spend it with someone you love, and hope you are living a wonderful life. Thank you guys for all of your support, and I will see you on Monday with Flawedzilla. It's going to be a great episode. Mazo says the jams belong to us. F&T is F&T. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I love that show. Shout out to that crew. They're absolutely fantastic. And you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week.